In this next talk, and this talk is powered and brought to you by the Latvian Investment and Development Agency of Latvia, for which we are very thankful. Thanks to them and all the partners, we are here today. And the use cases are more and more, they're coming up. Businesses are looking where can they get their return of investment. Governments are looking into what can they do. Some are even trying to put AI into their decision-making processes. I think it's hit and miss, but it's an interesting topic that our panelists can discuss during the next 45 minutes, and they will be led by the Business Development Director of PNET and International Hub for Research and Innovation, Mr. Marios Nicolaou. Welcome. A round of applause. He is joined by the CTO and co-founder of Truslio, the training and consulting firm, Professor Nineta Polemi. Welcome. Next up, he's the founder and CEO of XR Masters, a pioneering company in XR technology. Ali Hantal, welcome. He's a senior digital specialist at the World Bank Group, the largest and best-known development bank in the world. Tiago Peixoto, welcome. Welcome, Tiago. And I already mentioned, chairman of the board at Tilde, the Latvia's language technology company, Artūrs Vasiljevskis. Welcome. All right, take it away.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. My name is Marios Nicolaou. I come from Greece. I'm business development director for PNET, which we have a role in Greece for integrating systems like 5G and digitalization of the vertical sectors. I'd like to welcome all our distinguished panelists today. Thanks for coming. Some of you came from far away, like the United States. So we need, in this kind of topic, we obviously need a little bit of a view of what's happening across the pond. But thankfully, we have some of the important players in AI from Europe, and we hear a lot about AI these days, and we created this panel specifically that we distinguish a little bit from the chatter and all the aspirations, and we will try to make it a little bit more real. So welcome to all of you. We'll make this simple. I'll go around 3 times. The first one will be just if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, your company, what is your focus and why you're here. The second round will be a little bit about what we see now, because we are all waiting a lot for the future from AI. And the last one, of course, will be how do you think the future is going to look like. So, Nineta, let's start with you.
Okay, thank you very much for the invitation and introduction. I'm Professor Nineta Polemi. I'm a professor of cybersecurity in the University of Piraeus in Greece, and also the CTO and co-founder of a Dutch company, a startup called Truslio. I'm most interested in the human factors and human element and how we can address the AI Act, the requirement on human oversight and also on certification of AI systems. So these are 2 of my main concerns these days.
Thank you very much. Over to Ali.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for this great right now environment that we're in. I'm second time in this beautiful city of Riga. Last year, I was here at Secretary as well. My name is Ali Hantal. I am the founder and CEO of XR Masters, co-president of OpenAI Cloud Association, and very active member of both Metaverse Standards Forum and Open Geospatial Consortium. Those 3 organizations are working very hard in developing standards so that the world will be more like internet, open, instead of being mobile application stores that are not open, so they're under 2 big companies. So we believe interoperability is very important. And at XR Masters, we specialize in spatial computing, XR and AI integration, developing platforms such as MyGeoverse. It's a spatial content and AI management platform enabling multi-user, geospatially anchored and persistent experiences. And what we focus on is connecting the physical and the virtual worlds through AI-driven augmented reality geospatial intelligence and spatial data interoperability.
Thank you very much. Tiago?
Right. First of all, thank you very much for the opportunity. It's great to be here with you all. So my name is Thiago. I'm the World Bank's focal point for AI on Europe and the Western Balkans. For those who are unfamiliar with the World Bank, first thing, it's not a commercial bank, obviously. So we work with governments on issues related to economic and social development, right? And as such, we do lending, we lend money, we give grants as well, but we also give advisory services. And so the World Bank is always looking at things that are likely to have an impact on development. And of course, given the potential effects of AI, now it is top of mind, and it's something that we're paying lots of attention as an institution. We every year do a publication on what is considered the main publication of the World Bank and what's considered a main topic. And the next years will be precisely on AI. And why I'm here is because I'm one of the authors of that report working on that.
Wonderful. Thanks very much. Arthurs, over to you.
So, yeah, first of all, thank you for this opportunity. I'm quite pleased to be here and addressing such an important topic and participate in this discussion. And just briefing about the field itself, I believe it's very important to share what is encoded in our DNA and how do we see our mission, if you would like. We believe, and this belief is already for more than 30 years, that each language deserves the same respect to be represented in the digital, and how we are already saying, in this AI environment, in terms of the accessibility, in terms of the quality, and that's what we are doing already for 30 years. And we started like a local players, focusing on the Baltic market, equipping and securing digital access for the Latvian Baltic languages. And now already for, I would say, more than 50 years, we see and we position ourselves like a pan-Baltic and actually beyond a company which supports languages in the AI age.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. We're very delighted to have AI activity in Europe itself. Let's move to make it real. Let's think about, obviously, this AI is moving very quickly. I just remind everybody, when did you hear about ChatGPT the first time? It was not a couple of years ago, and then all of a sudden it's everywhere, and it's spreading into our lives. Let's raise a little bit of what is impressing you now and what is worrying you now. Nineta, let's start with you.
Well, actually, it is very impressive that Europe came up with the AI Act, the directive that will make us, the GDPR, Europe famous. It will stop and will put barriers into not trustworthy AI systems that actually abuse democratic values and human values. So this is an opportunity that we need to realize and also consider how we will implement AI Act. For example, how do you conduct trustworthiness risk assessment on all dimensions of trustworthiness as defined by AI Act, meaning cybersecurity, privacy, fairness, accountability, explainability, and so on. So assessing technically the trustworthiness properties of AI system is a big technological challenge that we are working on, the research community that actually has a tradition in working on risk assessment and risk management. So this is, for me, it's an opportunity to put some rules, let's say, into this AI era. And what worries me is that one of the biggest elements in the AI Act is the requirement and obligation for having human oversight in every decision-making and explainability for every automated decision-making that the AI system may provide. And the question here is, are we ready to really conduct human oversight at every step? And this is a challenge that we really need to raise awareness, to raise not only technical awareness, but see humans as an operators in this, and AI participants in a more holistic way. It's not only technical skills that are needed, but actually we need to invest on all human traits that actually provide these capabilities to conduct human oversight. So this is...
Thank you very much. Very, very important. I think we all agree. Ali, I see a lot of what your company is doing, and also you're a member of the Metaverse Standards Forum, important roles. Geospatial AI, how do you see it? What's going on?
Yeah, actually, we're at very exciting times. It's incredible to see the convergence of AI, XR, spatial computing, telecom, 5G, 6G, big data, everything converging together. And we will actually now no more talking about AI as back-end tool. It's going to be the front-line interface for all of our digital experiences, digital interactions. And what we see today that is missing is the AI systems are disconnected from their environments. So they're not geospatially aware. They're not contextually aware. They can know where they're using some GPS, but they would never, right now, even Meta glass that I have, that, you know, the display AI, those are not geospatially really aware, centimeter accuracy. So think about having a glass or a mobile application here and just asking it where the restrooms are, and it's just directing you by audio, not by showing you anything and telling you, hey, make a left right now, go forward, and it's like 10 meters away from you, type of thing. So I believe the next leap forward will be where AI avatars, AI systems are geospatially, like within centimeters accuracy, know where they are, instead of just understanding data, text, image, or video. They will really know where exactly they are.
So a system that knows who you are and where you are will be a much more useful system.
Exactly.
Rather than just a
your
generic,
interests, what you liked in the previous tour that you were at, like you were at Riga, now you're going to another country, and you just like, it'll know about you and will suggest and recommend experiences for you, personalized.
I fully agree with you. Tiago, you recently wrote an interesting paper that also takes these concepts and I think puts it a little bit in the concept of a government. Can you tell us a little bit what you discuss in this paper?
Yeah, okay, thank you. So we wrote a paper on the, it's called the Agentic State. You can find the paper on agenticstate.org.
I love it.
Yeah. So we look at the potential of agents, right, in terms of like transforming governments, right? We know that agents are not necessarily fully 100% there, right? But it's looking at the process, particularly because government also has like very, how I would say, like very predictable procedures. That's what defines government in many cases, is predictability. So that makes, so to speak, agents deployment somehow easier. So, but what we're talking, let me give you an example. I'm from Brazil. In Brazil, we have a guy that he's called the despachante. Essentially, it's a fixer, okay? Because to pay your taxes is difficult, to renew the license of your documents. So it's somebody who navigates the bureaucracy for you, right?
Yeah.
But it's only, of course, like middle class and upper classes that can pay for that, right? Now, nowadays, if you look, one of the things that government websites have in common, most of them, because I don't want to offend all of them, is that they work. They just don't work for the citizen, okay? When the citizen gets to try to use it, you make user testing, fails miserably. Then you go to the government and they say, oh no, but they clicked wrong, you just need to click here, right? So it works for the government, but it doesn't work for the citizen. So imagine that you have an agent, for example, that can be deployed and that can navigate the complexity of government online for you. Again, making our services, so it becomes our personal fixer, right? And it can remind you of things and so on and so forth. It may look like sci-fi, but it's not. And the private sector, for example, is already doing that, and many times capturing services. For example, in the UK, for you to make an appointment for your driver's license, people are already creating bots that go and they go and do appointments for everybody, and then they resell your appointment with the government, right?
Wow.
So, so if the state doesn't come, and that's one of the points that we're going to say, right? You even have a risk of capture, maybe by, let's say, some actors of the private sector that are not motivated by the social good. So the state has to move in terms of that. But for the state to do that, it's less of a technological, and this is the argument that we make, it is less than a technological change, but it's a process of institutional change, starting by procurement. If governments continue doing procurement of technology in the same way that they do nowadays, 10 years from now, they're going to be in the Stone Age still, and the private sector will have moved on, and then it's growing gap between what citizens experience in the private sector versus public, just increasing distrust in government.
Wonderful, wonderful. I like what you're saying, and hopefully it's going to, at some point soon, governments will understand that it's not about implementing AI in government, it's about implementing AI in society. I think that's a little bit of an issue. I don't think they're there yet, but who is there probably will accelerate the adoption very much. Artur, what is exciting you from what you're seeing and what you're doing? What is interesting right now?
So how I see,
Yes.
how I see the current situation, and let me put it in from this larger perspective. So currently there are happening competition, or actually I would put and use a different form, actually a fight between US and China in the field of AI. So which country, which region will dominate? So more advanced will dominate in terms of the economy, in terms of the competition, in terms of the export and import. So AI have this impact in every industry, like 100 years ago, the impact was by the electricity. And what worries me is the big question, where is Europe place? So where we do see our advantage, where we do see our competitive advantage. And I believe there are paths which is difference from the US and Chinese, where the main focus is building larger, smarter AI models. But in Europe, I believe the path is by building more focused and use our advantage. And our advantage is multilinguality. So we are not using only English language. So in Europe, there are more than officially 24 languages. Actually, there are more than 80 languages which are used on the daily basis. And we, Europeans, know how to use this language, how to implement this language in the AI. And actually, I'm super proud that European Commission catched like 3 years ago when ChatGPT appeared as an example how AI can be used, how AI can be really powerfully used in the industry, and European Commission pointed out that this should be a first priority. I believe you are familiar with the Mario Draghi report, which highlighted that if we are willing to shift from the consumer society in terms of using AI by enabling society which kind of delivers, creates AI solutions, we have to invest. We have to invest in AI. We have to use our research and development capacity, where at the Europe we have high-level competence in terms of development AI solutions. And yeah, I'm proud to say that in Europe, just 2 weeks ago, we have our own AI, which does understand European languages in the same way how we, Europeans, understand, which share the same values in terms of the data privacy, in terms of the security, and yeah, company Tilde, myself, sorry for this short advertisement, but I believe this is super important to share that in Europe we have this open source Tilde open model, which is available for the further development. In public sector, in public administration, and we use it for the industry itself to develop similar solutions or even more advanced solutions like are developed in US and Chinese market.
Mm-hmm. So we need the investment. That's why we put you next to the World Bank.
I know.
I'm joking. Okay, very good. I fully agree with you on the language aspect. My father was a linguist, actually. And just by looking at his books, I early understood that language is very closely connected to heritage and culture. And that's why in Europe we've created this unbelievable spectrum of history, of archaeology, of philosophy. And that's why I think that we're very successful in attracting tourists from all over the world that want to experience this in new ways. Just a quick note that in Greece, we are looking a lot at how Greece is a country that every corner, every island has a myth, has a history, has a goddess or whatever. So we are very much interested in applying the geospatiality where Ali is discussing with the multilinguistic aspect that you're discussing, and very nice money, hopefully, that's going to come from other places. Let's think a little bit in the future. Let's see what you think is coming, and then let's try and push it even a little bit further to how far we can be, both with respect to use cases, activities, opportunities, and concerns as well. Nineta, can I pass this to you?
Well, my dream is to have humans and all of us, people, to be part of this whole AI trustworthy ecosystem, that actually AI technologies will serve people's need and not the other way around. And this is the reason I'm very happy we are in Europe, because I think these regulations like AI Act or Cybersecurity Act for certification on AI systems is most important to actually help the new developments to be human-centric. And I think this is actually the advantage, the marketing advantage of European AI developments, this human-centric approach to AI. And of course, another hope for the future is that all AI systems to be cybersecurity certified, meaning, and the question is which components, probably all components. I'm involved in the CEN, CENELEC, and ETSI standardization bodies for future certification of AI systems, and it's a big concern of why do we need to certify? But certification, of course, certification will provide this trustworthiness to these new systems that actually, with the ultimate goal to respect people. So certified AI systems and human in the loop at every single life cycle and every stage in the AI life cycles is my dream.
Is it doable?
Global?
For Europe, let's say.
For Europe, I think that the legal frameworks that are being developed and constantly the European Commission is trying to make all the stakeholders to implement, I think it will be feasible in Europe. As GDPR is applied and is being respected internationally. So all products that come to Europe, they need to be GDPR compliant. So eventually, hopefully, all AI systems will be AI compliant. Okay. And that will provide a human shelter around us.
Okay, thank you very much. Ali, what's the future holding for us?
Yeah, the exciting side is, I want to talk after exciting time a little bit of my concerns as well, but the exciting part is like I really, in the 3 to 5 years, I envision a world where these AI agents are geospatially aware, they know about you, and really is the greatest support, greatest help to you in your life, especially when you're at a new place. You said heritage. Think about going to Greece and seeing all these beautiful sites, and AI is giving you, the way you like it, all the information. It's a sentient being right next to you, knowing about you, knowing about your interests, and tell you about recommendations in your life. So, and you don't really need to look at a screen anymore. I think we're going to go from a screen-based AI to geospatially aware AI, where it talks to you, it shows you three-dimensional images, images and 2D also, 2D dimensional as well. However, all of this greatness comes with a big risk. And there are two risks that I'm not going to talk about the first one long, but the first one is, I think, an existential risk. Because AI is more powerful than us, and we need to really pose it at one point, because it just goes on, and it can pass our own creativity, learning from us. And all these plugins and agent-to-agent networks and all that, they're just learning faster, a lot faster than we can even imagine. I'm a member of Pose AI, and I don't want to talk more about that. I know it's not at this point, but it's a concern that we really need to know. All the world needs to know. Eliezer Yudkowsky, he has a book called If Anyone Builds It, We Will All Die. Please have a look at that book. Yudkowsky is really a great guy who has been in AI for more than 30 years. That book is an amazing book. Coming to the second, which is more solution, there are a lot of solutions on that one, is like, we need interoperability so that the world is not going to be censored. Right? If it's not interoperable, the world and what we see, our children will take from AI, will all be coming from different sources, unlike yours. And I'm so happy to meet someone like you and in Europe. Again, we do business in Europe, in Norway, and in Turkey and Greece. But what we would like to see more is respectful to data privacy, respect to data privacy. It's everything. And if data privacy is not in an LLM, built in LLM, that's very dangerous. And think about you knowing everything about you can help you, but also can come in the form of emotional, real-time emotional detection and bringing in front of you those ads that you like, even before you know you like. Because they can look into your pupils, eye detection, and they can tell you whether, before you realize that you like what you're seeing, the system can tell you like it or not. So, those require interoperability. That's why I joined OpenAI Cloud, Metaverse Standards Forum, like you did, and that's how we met. And I'm so glad there's someone like Peanut, like Mario's, and all his team that are respectful, are really careful and caring about interoperability. Because interoperability means we don't have to be locked into one system. Like if I place here, with our MyJours platform, I can place here by audio anything I want. Like I can say place a dragon, and that can stay here through our system. But if you come with another device or another platform, you should be able to see that. It shouldn't be like, oh, you don't have my Android app, so you're on iPhone, you cannot see this, right? It shouldn't be that way. And I know you already talked about it. You already talked about it. I would love to have discussions when there's a World Bank person sitting next to us to talk about some great opportunities where we can provide that solution, which is really respectful to data privacy, interoperable, and geospatially aware and intelligent.
Thank you very much. Very quickly, since you have better view in the devices than one of us, what's going to be the interface? Is it going to be glasses? Is it going to be speakers? Is it going to be the screen of your car? What is it going to be?
Both of them, but all of them. But first, the Meta Ray-Ban AI glasses last year came out about $299. I have it with me if anybody would like to try that. It's just an audio interface. You can talk to it. It has a camera. It can do record things for you. But the most importantly, because it has a camera, once there's an app store, which there's not yet, you can actually localize that device. It would know exactly where it is and its orientation. That's going to be like soon with Android XR coming out. You know, they announced Android XR. That means soon all the Asian companies will be coming up with these glasses. You will have Samsung coming up with it, which is already coming up. X-Real is coming up. So Android XR is good in that sense. So you'll have $50 glasses, only audio. Then we'll have this display AI glass. I just tried it last week on Best Buy. I ordered it, their back order. It has an amazing neural wristband. And unlike before, it was all looking at your hands, movements, detecting through vision. Now, even if it's in your pocket, when you do this, it detects your movements in your, neurally. And so this will be a click, this will be back, this is open, this is closed. So you can do like this, and it really recognizes. You remember Mark Zuckerberg did it like last month with a horrible few Murphy's Law. His AI demos went down. To be honest, that was the best product that I've ever seen so far. Tell me if I'm speaking too much. I know you know that I don't like talking too much. But so with the display here, you have a neural wristband. I have a video. If anybody interested, I can show it to you as well. You go and you just say, here, it's not three-dimensional, it's just a panel here. You just ask a question, it shows you here. So I believe audio will be the most inexpensive one, so that is very important to have an audio AI that knows where it is. Then there's going to be a display. But right now we're working on a seamless handoff solution where you're walking with an AI glass and you want to see a three-dimensional hologram or a concert. The AI glass will be able to see, if you're using my GeoVerse, will be able to tell you, hey, something is next to you. Just take your phone out, snappable experience, look at it, see that three-dimensional, because audio glass will not be able to show it to you. You will experience it for a few minutes, an hour, whatever, and then you'll just put it back. So that will be the near future, but the future will be the Orion glass type of meta. That it will be showing $15,000, they say. It has a wristband as well, but it does have sensors so that you will just have this glass, and then you'll go out and see things outside right there with AI.
Yeah, just to make a note that in some of the demos you mentioned, there were the glasses stopped working because they didn't care about the network.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's why when we keep emphasizing the 5G and the network, you don't want just one glass to
yeah,
work.
that was the explanation.
Yeah,
their CTO came out, but the Meta, and said, we didn't expect so many people were going to try during the beta test and everybody did, so they failed.
Exactly. So the network is in the background, but you know when you need it, when it stops working. Yeah. Tiago, what do you think of the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think the future, just two things that you mentioned here related to regulation, right? I think one regulation, for example, very basic, right? I mean, Europe did a great job, for instance, with phone number portability, right? We should have context portability. Okay. Particularly because with the AI firms now, with open source software and everything, they realize that the lock-in on the product is not the best viable option. The best lock-in to do is by your context, right? So for example, I use much more OpenAI than Anthropic because it has better context from me. But I should be able to bring my context when I go, right? Okay. So I think this is one of the policies that we're considering to put forward, right? Now another one in the future, right? I think another policy debate that we're going to have is that, as you were saying, as the virtual and physical merge, right? Who has authority over that space, right? Because the public space has been publicly, historically, a role of the state to regulate, right? Nowadays, if I put like an advertising on the street, I need to pay to the city administration. If I get an advertising on the street that it's virtual, and that is that, who should the government be taxing Meta for that? Right? Should the local governments be receiving something? I think this will be a big issue on everything, rights? Right? Yeah.
How about property rights? What if you're putting it in front of a Coca-Cola shop?
Precisely.
As Pepsi.
Yep, as right? Pepsi or Fanta.
Who is going to regulate that?
Yeah, and who in cases of litigation of these spaces.
And who would litigate that?
So the arbitration of this fusion of physical and virtual is going to be a huge policy issue that nobody's talking about.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, what worries me as well is about us having too high expectations towards AI. And let me say what I'm saying. For example, a common thing that people like to say is like, oh yeah, AI is great, but we need human in the loop. Human in the loop became a bit of like a mantra. But when you look at the research on deployment of AI, just human, and human and AI, the worst result is when you have human and AI. It is meta review of like 300 cases. I don't remember. Happy to share the paper with with whoever is interested. So, for example, so there are some things because we want sometimes AI to perform perfectly, right? But sometimes the human is worse than AI, right? I mean, it's not, there's, in some cases, for instance, black citizens, they prefer to have their case being adjudicated by AI than by a human because they know the human is racist, right? So which human in the loop, and when you want human in the loop, what I'm saying is, what concerns me is that we might go with kind of like some certain, kind of like a belief-oriented type of policy making that might not yield the best returns in terms of what AI can and cannot give to us.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
This conversation can go for hours.
Yeah. I mean, just a very quick note. I mean, I play chess, and sometimes I play against humans. I have a chance of winning. If you play against a machine, you have no chance of winning, which begs the question, who is better sometimes to just make the right move, either in strategic or business sense. Arturs, what is the future?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just to reflect on your example about the chess.
Yeah,
it's very important to understand this AI is this very powerful technology, extremely powerful technology. Mm-hmm. Like 3 years ago, if we didn't know something, what we did, we Google. I believe now nobody Googles. They are asking ChatGPT, or Gemini or Copilot or whatever. And actually, there is a huge risk in terms if this technology is built with the wrong purpose, or this technology is infected with fake news, fake history, fake view on the politics or whatever.
All of it is happening, by the way, right?
Actually, that's happening as we speak. We can observe that there is some impact on the elections, some impact actually on the way how we are thinking. And if we kind of project the future, I believe we have to have our own European technology on which we can rely, which is reliable, trustworthy, and which we can use in Europe in our secure environment. So this is super important. And just project how do I see the future. First of all, we have to understand where we are currently standing. So what kind of pillars do we have in our disposal? We already mentioned that AI Act, so this legal framework which defines how we are using, where we are using AI, this is like a foundation for the future. Next element is investment. Mm-hmm. And in Europe, we do have those massive movements like AI factories, gigafactories, which put the emphasis on the infrastructure, which is a crucial element for developing AI systems. And last but not least, of course, the competence. Mm-hmm. And we do have all those elements in Europe.
Is it happening? Are you seeing investment that is easy for you to access? Do we have a chance against the huge money of the Americans?
Okay, there are always kind of need for more investment. Yeah. But what I would like to point out that European Commission pointed out that this is super important and there are available funds and frameworks for which startups, already mature companies can address and receive the funds. The same AI factory, gigafactory program. There is a dedicated focus on the infrastructure, and in the same way there is dedicated focus on investment. So you can receive a support. And by that, I believe in next 3-5 years, there will be more and more like AI champions in Europe, which develop quite advanced platformic technologies and also practical applications. So the technology itself will be more accessible, not only for big, mature, advanced, competent companies, but also for the startups. And this will speed up this development. And AI will be more accessible in devices, in a digital environment, like this application, which we can have a chance to use right now. So this online transcript with translation. So it was made available just by technology which was developed in Europe.
Okay. Thank you. We have a little bit more time, so maybe let's see the more positive, the more opportunity aspects of this. Do you see AI in Ineta creating some new jobs and new opportunities for the young people of Europe? I like talking about Europe because, yeah, go ahead.
Well, there is this fear that AI will replace humans, and I don't believe that. I think things will just change. It's like this a new way, so people will uplift the necessary skills and capabilities just to make the shift to have their traditional jobs to AI-driven jobs. So I don't. It will create kind of new jobs, if you ask me. We just need to kind of accelerate our education and upskilling and capability building. So we need to accelerate this process in order for our young people, of course, to catch up and be able to have this, the needed jobs for the future. And I would like to say something from the previous comment, if I may.
Absolutely.
That we make a wrong assumption that we have this endless, infinite number data, and we don't. Mm-hmm. So we always think that, oh, AI will make miracles. It will if we had endless data. We don't. We see in Europe, we have the European the data spaces that actually we don't have access. So all this data that we think we have, we don't. Of course, you have all these smart devices that produce data, but we don't collect them. It's no way you can collect all data from all smart devices that surround us. So let us not have so many high hopes for AI. So, of course, you know, data is the fuel for AI systems. We don't have so much fuel.
Okay.
So,
fair point. Fair point. We have 1 minute and 15 seconds. Let's divide it between you three. What do you see opportunity? Like for new jobs, something new that is coming and we need to pay attention to it. Ali?
I'm not very positive that it's going to be creating more jobs than it's going to take, but that's why I'm on the other side. But let me tell you, the positive side is I believe to work with AI, to make it really come to use, right? For instance, geospatial is like, you need to still have some human to correct, like you were saying, to correct things and to put in the coding. Like even you're bringing too many plugins, code together, another person, like Ryan, a lead developer, someone needs to plug them in together to make it work. That's for a short-term period.
Thanks. Tiago?
And very quickly, so we're doing a review. We have over 2,500 use cases in a repository. Okay. And what we see is that most of these use cases, they're just by trying to automate, which fails many times, already existing processes, right? And I think where the opportunity is precisely on new services, be them public or private, that do not exist. Let me explain. We had the internet, we had the GPS, we had the phone. How long did it take until you would have Uber? That was a new service that didn't exist.
That nobody thought about, yeah.
So I do think most of the benefits and opportunities are things that we still haven't thought of. But
I agree.
They lie in the future.
Fully agree. Arturs, closing?
Yeah. I'm optimist. And from this perspective, just example from the history. Who would believe 10 years ago, I would say like Instagram and TikTok will be like a billion industry.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Nobody.
They will say I'm crazy. But from the really practical aspect, so tilde is also one of the business streams translation. And actually, AI is kind of killing the translation itself, because the quality of translation is, to some extent, in some area, okay, I will use this word, more advanced than the human. But nevertheless, so AI creates the opportunity for the humans, because AI needs the data, quality of data. And there is growing like a new universe for the humans to annotate, to create the data.
Thank you very much. I think we're done.
We have 4 minutes,
some questions.
and we have a lot of questions. Congratulations.
Let's do it.
You have the most questions of any panel here on the stage.
Happens to me
I know you
usually.
wanted something more practical. So a question about working with sensitive government data and documents. Will AI ever be accurate or safe enough for governments to use it? Government documents?
Maybe Nineta should start us a little bit. Is it relevant to you, Nineta?
Okay, well, we really need to work on measures and mitigation actions and controls of how to produce data that actually the integrity of the data is guaranteed. Do you have such automated mitigation actions? The answer is no. At this point, we don't have these real-time mechanisms to really clean poison data or to the mitigation actions necessary to provide this cybersecurity dimension called integrity of data. So at this point, we cannot do that.
Next question, you have more?
Yes, we have a practical, more cybersecurity-related question about public agents. And the question is, how do you protect from prompt injection and other attacks with governments using more public-facing agents?
Tiago, but that sounds like yours.
Yes. Look, cybersecurity in the same way, let me just say one government that I work with, they used to have like 200,000 attacks a month. Right?
Wow.
From last year to now, that number increased to 2 million. And when we talk to other governments, we find it's something similar, right? Because if it's automated. So increasing the state capacity using AI to fight AI with AI is essential. And very quickly on the issue of like, well, governments, they need to be agent-friendly, right? To be working and for you to make the most out of it, so the private sector can come, right? But then combining kind of like opportunity with risk is going to be, it's the eternal balancing act of technology in the public sector.
If I may add.
Please.
Another big problem here is that do we know how to, how do the agents authenticate? Do we have identity management systems for agents? No. Do we have identity management systems that you distribute privileges and access control rights to agents? No. That means right now we have agents that can do whatever they like. They do not authenticate. You cannot trace them. You cannot log.
Only focused for engagement?
Exactly. So it's a very big problem. So, of course...
On the agentic state, we talk precisely about that. People talk a lot about IDs for people. If you want to have agents, you need to have a digital public infrastructure for agents, which includes authentication, signature, and
access
everything
control.
for agents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more, last one.
Well, there's a question that we've seen examples like agents, chatbots, XR, VR. What is the next hot thing in AI? Something that we are not seeing yet. Maybe some futuristic outlooks to wrap it up.
Ali and Artus, you take this one. Like you have some view that Ali.
I think I already told it. So if you didn't answer that question, I think it's geospatial AI, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say the combination of specialized AI towards a specific industry, specific segment, specific task implementation, combination with these generic models, and on top AI agents, which can orchestrate AI models and have those dedicated integrations. So combination of the technologies which are currently advancing.
Wonderful.
And of course, integration in our daily infrastructure, phones, TVs, so glasses.
Thank you very much.
I want to answer one question. The first one, Right,
Yes?
the first question, I think the LLM should be created by the government, for the government, not by others, so that you can actually talk about privacy and security and
All right.
all that. So,
Defined by the government.
That's all the time we have right now.
Defined by
Maybe
the government.
just last comment. And actually
Gonna be
here,
exciting.
actually last comment. Actually here we have our European opportunity. So we can build technology which could be placed on the public administration infrastructure. And on this kind of technology we can rely, and through this technology we can have this trustworthy.
that's great to have some
All right,
companies in
Neta, maybe last comment.
I think that, and I'm coding the other session on the ports, and I thought that would be a great challenge to see, for example, underwater drones that actually can work without, they cannot use 5G or 6G or anything. How do you develop underwater drones, either for safety reasons, also for environmental protection, also for green environment and so on? So underwater drones, I think, is one of the applications that still need a lot of work, and since, I know acoustic centers are very old-fashioned, and that's what they use
Thank you.
right now. But
Wonderful. We'd like to thank each one of you. Very insightful, and as you see, not enough time to talk about all the exciting aspects. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
to our moderator, Marius, also for moderating this exciting topics. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.